And now your final exam. There is not a final exam. Instead, I'm asking you to write a final exam paper or essay, whatever you want to call it. It's 2 to 4 pages, so it's a pretty short paper, but it's a medium-length essay, I guess. And you'll see the section will have been released by now. You're listening to this right now. I have a handout I'm going to show you, and there's a Dropbox. There is all there is to this. Now the paper, though, this is what the idea is behind it. Make that a little bigger. The idea is you've been developing these structured information for your presentations. And I hope you're starting to feel, as the goal, that there's some benefit to this, helping you organize your thoughts and get things outlined and build things into note cards and look at the overall structure and what the different parts of the structure are supposed to do: introduction, conclusion, main ideas, main points, subpoints, and so on. That's structuring the information. Then trying to actually look at the structure and see different kinds of structure work in different ways and so on. All those structures we've been talking about, presentations, presentations, presentations. But you know what? These same structures can help you a lot in your writing. And that's what I want you to do here. I want you to develop an essay or paper, 2 to 4 pages, which is about your relationship with public speaking. Maybe with the public speaking class, but hopefully more broadly with public speaking. Maybe how that relationship has changed or not changed. Maybe how it's better or worse. Maybe the parts of it that work well and don't work well. So the relationship between you and public speaking. To do this, first I want you to create a specific purpose statement, an essential thesis, and then build from those into an actual true preparation outline. How to do that? Well, I suggest first you do some personal reflection, brainstorming, just imagining, thinking through ideas, jotting things down about your relationship to public speaking. As I said, it need not be confined to this class or your experience in it. It doesn't have to be confined just to anxiety. It could be other things about it too. In fact, maybe you will break it down topically into my relationship to public speaking, about anxiety and about structuring information, and about persuasive versus informative, or I don't know what, or more broadly than that. Maybe look at the parts of the speech and how they've affected you or not of a speech. So you're going to brainstorm, get a lot of ideas to try to develop your SPS and your CT. Then you're going to having built those things and make sure they fulfill all of our requirements that they normally would as if this was a presentation. Then I want you to create also a preparation outline. I want you to imagine the introduction, the main points, the subpoints, and also fill in there, use complete sentences to try to organize all your information and your ideas. Yeah, this is the kind of outline, and then of course conclusion at the end too. This is the kind of outline that we do for preparing speeches. It's the same kind of outline you can do to prepare for writing an essay or writing a paper for that matter. And a much longer paper, there might be many points, the main points might have many subpoints and sub-subpoints, and it'd be broken down more fully and there'd be a lot more detail. This is not that long of a thing. Although no research is required, I do want you to back up your ideas whenever possible with references to the textbook. That's supposed to be references, I guess, sorry. To the textbook and or to the notes from classwork, like from presentations, like from handouts, and so on too. So I'm not going to make requirements that you have to use your textbook as a source, or reference the handouts as a source, or the lecturer's presentations as a source X number of times. But I do want to suggest that when appropriate, you should do that. So you're going to create all this on writing, your SPS, your CT, your preparation outline, as if it was for a true, probably informative presentation, but maybe persuasive, I suppose. Depends. Then you're going to write it all up, and you're going to use all those then to actually write your essay. So you're going to actually create the written structure mirroring those ideas. It's true that things are a little different in writing. We don't necessarily do exactly a signposted preview statement in writing, but it's not that bad to tell people what you're going to tell them still. And I don't have any problem with that in writing. especially in an essay. It wouldn't work in a news story exactly. But it's actually in a news story, in the lead, the first paragraph, we try to provide a roadmap for where the story is going to go. Or perhaps it would be in the second graph if if the first graph is doing something unusual, like just catching attention. So I think you're fine in writing to use pretty much the same structural ideas as far as attention-getting statements, as far as preview statement, as far as main ideas, as far as conclusion, that you did in your speech work. So write the paper based on that, and then submit it all together. The paper with the SPS and the CT and the outline. If you have any questions on this, of course, please ask me. If you want to go over any of this, please let me know. We can certainly do a conference or whatever. This is not supposed to be a overwhelming final project sort of thing. I really want to see your personal reflection. And also, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to like kind of tell me what you think I want to hear. Like say, oh, the class was wonderful. You don't have to say that. No. Just really lay things out. But remember, you're not analyzing the class so much as you are your relationship to public speaking more in general.